There is one thing called complex life and a completely other called complex intelligent life. A few latest recent researchers have pointed towards the fact that finding complex intelligent life on any planet is actually quite rare. It has become very important to understand how life actually evolved on Earth and how this concept has actually evolved with time itself. We all know that the age of the Earth is 4.6 billion years, and on Earth a basic cycle is found occurring time and again. First we have an ice age, later on it is followed by a period of large scale volcanism, thereafter it is again followed by a period of ice age. So originally there was one such ice age billions of years before present, and thereafter the paths of rivers were blocked. And once the paths of rivers were blocked by all of this large scale glaciation, lesser water was actually reaching our oceans. Now why is this important to understand? One of the main minerals transported by running water, our rivers, is calcium. Why? Because rainwater mixes with atmospheric carbon dioxide and it creates a weak acid called carbonic acid. This carbonic acid basically falls in our rivers. Water loaded with this carbonic acid is very well at eroding calcium carbonate rocks. Therefore, a lot of calcium is found in our rivers. This calcium enters our rivers and these rivers take it to the oceans, and that calcium forms the basis of the main food source of our unicellular organisms. The main unicellular organism flourishing at that time was cyanobacteria, which you know as blue-green algae. Now during that ice age, what took place? There was a blockage in the path of rivers, therefore lesser calcium was actually reaching our water bodies, our oceans, therefore a major change took place. Cyanobacteria, even before the ice age, was performing photosynthesis, but it was in the absence of releasing oxygen. It was conducting photosynthesis, but that primitive photosynthesis did not release oxygen as a byproduct. But during this ice age, when the flow of water was restricted, there was a scarcity of calcium in our oceans. All other unicellular organisms competing with cyanobacteria were now very active competitors of it. They were also feeding on the same limited reserves of calcium available in our ocean waters. Therefore, cyanobacteria evolved photosynthesis, which gave oxygen as a byproduct. Why? Because the other unicellular organisms could not live in oxygen. Oxygen was toxic, or rather I would say poisonous for them. So cyanobacteria produced oxygen for the first time to actually kill off its competition, and it was successful. Therefore, cyanobacteria was able to saturate our oceans with oxygen, and therefore now if you have more oxygen in water, our basic metabolism includes burning of food, burning to produce energy, and for that we require oxygen. Now every cell was able to burn more energy due to more oxygen. Therefore, life could now evolve into complex functions. From unicellular life, multicellular life evolved in our water bodies, which ultimately converted into complex life. Life began in water, thereafter it started exploring the terrestrial land masses. Thereafter we observed that amphibious life, which is partly living in water and on land as well. Later on, this amphibious life evolved into terrestrial life. Even if that terrestrial life was forming over there, it was quite primitive. It was yet to evolve into complex life, and unless and until a certain event could take place, this could not evolve into complex intelligent life. Let's understand a few more things. तो पानी में unicellular life बनी multicellular. Once there was that production of oxygen, more energy could be produced, therefore complex functions could be performed. Multicellular life आ गई, it evolved into complex life in water. पानी से निकल के amphibious life बन गई, amphibious से terrestrial बन गई. तो life आपकी पानी से निकल कर land पर आ गई, but that was not complex intelligent life. This was the first main theory. अब ये photosynthesis हो रहा है, this is taking place naturally near the surface of water because the photic zone जहां पर sunlight actually आ रही है, that is only the first 200 meters of our ocean waters. But our latest recent research pointed out a very scary fact. We have a lot of polymetallic nodules on the ocean floor. Polymetallic means made up of different minerals and mostly metals. Basically, they are made up of manganese. Therefore, they are also called manganese nodules. They also contain precious elements like cobalt, etc. Now, all of these metallic nodules are present on the ocean floor, and ocean floor is made up of salt water. Basically, ocean is salt water, and when that salt water moves over these metallic rocks, it actually creates a small voltage, right? Due to this constant stirring of salt water over these polymetallic nodules, what takes place is 1 volt is created, a very small voltage, but that is enough to cause the electrolysis of water. The water molecule splits, it converts into hydrogen and oxygen in the dissolved form. Therefore, the oceans on the ocean floor were already creating oxygen on the ocean floor. Therefore, life started developing, evolving independently on the ocean floor, which is why today we have a very wide variety of life, which is quite weird as per the life we are used to seeing, right? Therefore, the original theory that oxygen was sourced only by cyanobacteria on the surface of the earth has now been complemented by this fact that polymetallic nodules and the movement of seawater over them were evolving oxygen on the ocean floor as well. So what is the understanding right now? Cyanobacteria pumped out oxygen near the surface of ocean, and these polymetallic nodules were pumping out oxygen from the ocean floor. Oceans were saturated with water or with oxygen, and therefore the same process continued. Even if this thing took place and complex life evolved on land, it was not yet ready to evolve into complex intelligent life. Let's draw some important conclusions over here. A very important research was further added to this thing. There is a thing called ocean trawling. What takes place is that you have huge trawlers, big boats, they're dragging on the seafloor. They're trying to remove all these polymetallic nodules and whatnot. They're basically mining everything on the seafloor. And it has been observed that all of these are trawling marks. You have seen how the ocean floor is being scraped off. Once polymetallic nodules have been removed from the seafloor, life has never recovered in these areas. Even unicellular life was found to be missing from these areas. मतलब ये constant process जब रुक गया ऑक्सीजन बनने का ओशन फ्लोर पे, it literally became an ocean dead zone. This finding of oxygen is quite recent, therefore this is called dark oxygen. Why? Because we were in the dark about it and it is present on the ocean floor, literally dark over there. Therefore, dark oxygen was being produced by Earth. But in many places where we have conducted extensive trawling, we have removed these polymetallic nodules. अब वहां पर एक भी unicellular life मिली नहीं है दोबारा से. They have become ocean dead zones. As if this was not enough, a very important research was published regarding the next thing. We all have heard about plate tectonics, convergence, divergence, slide past motion and all. But what if I tell you the Earth originally did not have multiple plates? Originally on Earth, there was one single lid. Once the Earth was formed, it had an uneven surface. Degassing caused a lot of rainfall, cloud formation and all, and therefore whatever rivers were originated on Earth were only eroding. There was no evolution of mountains beyond what was the original surface. जो original surface में elevation, depression बने हुए थे, they were just being eroded. No convergence, no building of mountain, no subduction, no destruction of some crust. Basically what was taking place is जो original initial uneven surface बन गया था, it was just being eroded. And once it was eroded, नदी कब तक चलेगी? जब तक slope है. As soon as the slope starts declining, the flow of water will weaken, its velocity will weaken, and eventually it will stop depositing calcium in our ocean waters. Therefore, it is a very logical understanding that unless and until single lid tectonics evolves into modern day plate tectonics, life could basically end on Earth. This transition took place around 1 billion years before present. From single lid tectonics, the conversion to modern type of plate tectonics occurred around 1 billion years before present. Do you understand? अभी शुरू हुआ है बस. It is a very recent phenomena. Age of the earth 4.6 billion years. When did this start? Around 1 billion years before present. Now understand this thing very carefully. If you have a single solid slab on earth, that surface is not moving anywhere. Even if complex life evolved somewhere near the south pole, suppose some complex life has evolved over the south pole, now it is only going to live in that area, it will acclimatize accordingly. But once you take that life to some other climatic zone, it is bound to perish. It has not evolved accordingly. But what is the main change over here? If active plate tectonics is taking place, the continents, the land masses, the plates are constantly moving. You have 10 species living off in an area. All of them are differently evolved. Once plate tectonics takes them to a different climatic zone, the weaker species are bound to perish. The stronger ones are bound to evolve further. That is how the weaker species are constantly weeded out and the stronger species kept on evolving. And once you force someone to solve problems, to evolve in that new circumstance, that breeds intelligence. Therefore, the jump from single lid tectonics to modern type of plate tectonics is the crucial link between finding complex life and complex intelligent life. Earlier there was an equation, even that equation still exists, now it is updated. The name of the equation is Drake's equation. We use that equation to actually measure whether complex life can be found anywhere in our universe besides our solar system, right? And therefore in that equation many parameters were added like Goldilocks zone, etc. What is Goldilocks zone? That the planet is not that close to its star that all the water vaporizes, it is not quite far away from it that all the water freezes. So basically Goldilocks zone is that sweet spot, a adequate distance from the star of that planetary system that water can exist in all three states, right? So many other factors like that were included in it, and if those parameters were fulfilled, only then we could say कि भाई complex life मिलने के chance हैं. But now this recent amendment was made कि भाई जब तक modern type का plate tectonics evolve नहीं होता, life cannot evolve into complex intelligent life. Here's the catch. अगर मॉडर्न टाइप की प्लेट टेक्टोनिक्स आ भी गई, लाइफ विल इवॉल्व इनटू कॉम्प्लेक्स इंटेलिजेंट लाइफ, बट द अर्थ इज कूलिंग just like every other planet, and once you cool down it is going to solidify. Plate tectonics, even if it originates the modern type, is not permanent. The earth will eventually convert into a single lid again. Look at our neighbor Mars. There was at one point of time active plate tectonics on Mars. Now it is just a single lid, barren right now. So now this factor included in the Drake's equation has completely reduced the possibility of finding complex intelligent life anywhere else in our solar system. So in short, what is the conclusion? हो सकता है किसी exoplanet पे, हमारे सोलर सिस्टम के बियॉन्ड की प्लैनेट है, वी कॉल दैट एक्सोप्लैनेट, हो सकता है किसी एक्सोप्लैनेट पे कॉम्प्लेक्स इंटेलिजेंट लाइफ बन भी गई हो, लेकिन मॉडर्न टाइप ऑफ प्लेट टेक्टोनिक्स खत्म होने से पहले अगर वो लाइफ माइग्रेट नहीं की, then it is bound to perish. This research stated that maybe there were many planets which evolved complex intelligent life, and if they were unable to migrate in time, that is the end of it. That is all for this. Take care, everyone.